The Celtics just sent a serious message as the Boston Celtics just finished up a game at the TD Garden against the New York Knicks, and they were able to get this one done with a shaky first quarter, but they were able to pull it together behind a plethora of guys on this Boston Celtics team, and one of them being led by none other than Jaylen Brown. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Celtics Digest. I'm your host, Patrick Billings. Before we get into anything, guys, if you love the content we're doing here on Celtics Digest, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you guys are ready to talk some Celtics basketball, because this was a really big game for the Boston Celtics to get a win as they took on a very tough New York Knicks team who came out hot to start. The Celtics definitely looked a little flat, but they were able to figure out what guys were going to play the best on the court tonight against what matchups. And once they figured that out, they had the ball rolling, even though there was a little scare at the end, which of course is Celtics basketball, sadly, but they were able to pull this one out as they got it done at home, 123-117. And like I said in the intro, it was led by none other than Jaylen Brown. But we'll take a look at the New York Knicks side of things, as Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns were giving the Celtics a lot of issues tonight, as Mikal Bridges in the second half went on an absolute heater. It seemed like he was never going to miss. And Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, if he just doesn't get in foul trouble, the Knicks would be a much better team, but he can't help himself but getting in foul trouble. But the Boston Celtics definitely had a tough time guarding him down low, especially Neemias Queta, definitely having some trouble going and guarding him on the outside, on the perimeter. So the Celtics were able to switch up some things, getting guys like Jordan Walsh, Josh Minott, and Hugo Gonzalez to get some big minutes on defense to go out and guard him. And when the Knicks were able to run that double big in that fourth quarter, they were able to move Neemias Queta on Mitchell Robinson and have all these other forwards on Karl-Anthony Towns to try and slow him down. And they did a great job at slowing some of these guys down, especially Jalen Brunson. And that comes from, again, Jordan Walsh and Hugo Gonzalez playing an absolute incredible defensive game. But let's talk about our Boston Celtics here. As, of course, Neemias Queta getting back, getting into the flow of things, having another great game, not missing from the field. 8 points with 6 rebounds, getting a couple offensive rebounds there. But Jaylen Brown, I mean, talk about looking to be an MVP type of player this year. He has been that type of guy all season long, and I couldn't be happier to see him playing well, getting to his spots in the first quarter. He looked a little shaky, as well as the rest of the team, getting a couple early fouls and turnovers. But once he was able to get to his spots and get really comfortable in the paint, everything started to flow, especially for the rest of the team. So once he flows, everybody flows right behind him. Derrick White getting into some getting back into a little bit of a flow here. He's still struggling from the three-point line, but he was able to pick up some paint. Oh, wow. Speaking, because it's so hard because I'm so excited about this one. Derrick White finding a flow in the paint, finding some shots, finally getting them to fall. Jeez. Can't spit that out. But again, Derrick White, great game. Peyton Pritchard, not the best, but he had a great game against Cleveland, so we can't knock him too much. But Jordan Walsh, the stat sheet, only 8 points, but that fourth quarter was humongous. Him getting down low. He had 3 straight possessions that he was included in, 2 on the offensive end, 1 on the defensive end, leading the break, and he was just an absolute defensive star tonight. And I can't put more emphasis on that and how happy I am with his development on the defensive side. Joe Mazzulla finally gaining some confidence in him, like Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum and all these other guys have said the type of player that he is. He is coming into his own, and I couldn't be happier that the Boston Celtics have him playing well. And we look at the bench as well. Josh Minott, I mean, what a game. Hitting some big threes late in the game, getting on the boards, doing some dirty work, getting some blocks, especially with the 3 offensive rebounds. Then you got Anthony Simons coming off the bench, giving you some great offensive minutes. And Hugo Gonzalez, again, the stat sheet not showing much, but 4 points, getting 5 rebounds, getting the steal, playing some hard-nosed defense. Just some of the stats that don't go on the stat sheet is what he did tonight, and that's why he got so many minutes with those 23 minutes. Jordan Walsh was not playing his best in the first quarter, so Hugo was able to step in, pick up for some of that slack, and then Jordan Walsh came in to finish it off in the fourth we've got to think of a nickname for this Jordan Walsh and Hugo Gonzalez kind of duo. Maybe we could put in Josh Minott in there, something, because these guys bring the energy. They have the length and size to just guard any of these big forwards on the other side of the court. They are really showing some promising signs for this Boston Celtics team down the line. If we just look at some of these team stats, one of the team stats that I really wanted to look at is the points in the paint, because the Celtics not really playing the biggest lineup, and they led with 56 points in the paint to the Knicks 42, as the Celtics did not shoot well from three, especially in the beginning of the game. I believe they started 0 for 8 from three to start the game, so they were able to kind of switch up their game plan on the offensive end and stray away from some of those threes and really get to Jaylen Brown in the midi, giving some easy lobs for Neemias Queta on the pick and roll, and just getting to the hoop and trying to be more aggressive, as they're really trying to get some foul calls and they're just not getting it, especially Jaylen Brown. But they were able to get to the free throw line at the end of the game, so the free throw stats are pretty much even. But the Celtics, again, being able to take care of the ball for the rest of the game, as it was a shaky first quarter, but seeing them bounce back and get a big lead at halftime is definitely a promising sign for this Boston Celtics team against a great Knicks team down the line. And we could definitely talk more Jaylen Brown, because I could go on and on about the season he has had. And Noah Dalzell tweeted Jaylen Brown's last 5 games. As we look at the stat sheet, coming off tonight with the 42 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, had the triple-double last game with another 41-point game, 33 points, 35 points. And look at the assist and rebound numbers, just showing just some complete consistency. And, of course, in this run, the Celtics have wins over the Pistons, Magic, Cavs, and Knicks, saying that it is MVP-level hoops. And I couldn't agree more. There's a lot of people playing the league, but you got to include Jaylen Brown in this. Regardless of how this team is playing, we don't know what they're going to look like down the line, but he better be at the forefront of some of these talks, and even for an all-star starter, because he absolutely deserves it in this 1A role, as he was always a 1B, 1A. He is the number one option. So Jaylen Brown, kudos to you. Thank you for playing hard and finding your spots and getting that mid-range going down, because this team couldn't be the same without you and how you are playing right now. And if we look at these two right here, wanted to touch on them once again with how good they have been on defense, especially tonight, picking up on Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. All these guys are getting hot. I mean, sometimes when a guy can't miss, there's only so much you could do than just try and keep a hand up. But guarding Karl-Anthony Towns down low, these guys had a heavy load down low while Neemias Queta wasn't able to guard him. These two stepped up in a big way for this team, and I think that's something that we will see more going forward with these two young forwards, and I couldn't be more excited for their growth. And lastly, we got Josh Minott. I mean, why not Minott hitting some big threes? Sometimes his jump shot looks a little broke, but if it works, you don't got to fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And why not Josh Minott for 3, going 3 for 5 tonight with that interesting jumper. But hey, he stepped in a big way, and he's really been able to step back into this bench role, as he started off this year coming into this starting role and lost it to Jordan Walsh, but he's not letting that stop him from playing some good basketball for this team, and I couldn't be happier with Josh Minott and his role tonight, as the Celtics are getting a big win against the New York Knicks, and hopefully this continues to move on and we start to see this team grow more and more, maybe stray away from shooting less threes, as they've been very live and die by the 3. We know that. I think we're used to it with last year, seeing them have an NBA record from the 3-point line, so we expect a lot more to go in, but maybe that's not this team's identity. This team's identity might be being more aggressive at the rim, getting some easy mid-range shots, kind of just getting on the pick and roll, looking for the easy lobs, and just playing smart basketball. And the way that they played tonight, even though we had a couple scares, definitely with some foul trouble, which they have to definitely fix, as they lead the league in committing fouls and not getting to the line themselves. So there's a couple things that they could fix on with that aspect of the game, but you can only be happy with a really big win at home against the Knicks. And there's nothing more to be said. We move on to the next one, and let's get another win. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this one, make sure you go and hit that like button and let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments, what you loved from a lot of these players, maybe something that you didn't love from these players that you saw. Let me know in the comments. I read them all, so I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. That being said, thank you so much again for watching the video. I will see you in the next one. Let's go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everybody.